Maybe she'd be better off without me. Maybe she'd be better off with somebody else. Maybe she'd be better off if I wasn't around and could no longer hurt her. These are questions that ran through my head as I was sitting with myself and coming to this point, ready to give up, thinking my daughter would be better off without me. Let me give you a little bit of background leading up into that point, and also end with how I decided not to give up. Otherwise, I wouldn't be here talking to you right now. My whole life, I was angry. I grew up in this angry background, grew up in this angry family. I come from an Italian background, and that's all I knew. That's all I grew up with. And I always said I wouldn't be that way, and I was always trying to find a way, but yet here I am, angry. I tried everything, so I thought, to overcome this anger, this raging war within me. To feel like I got some progress, to only be kicked back several steps. And that dragon of anger would come back up and would come with this rage. And it was just battle within. In 2011, my wife passes away unexpectedly from a prescription drug overdose. And I'm left to raise my daughter, who was 5 at the time. And as I'm trying to come to grips in the days and weeks past her death, I remember sitting there and I'm scared. And I remember saying, how am I going to raise her by myself? And I wasn't scared to actually raise her by myself. That's not what I was really afraid of, but that's what I was saying I was afraid of. What it really was, how am I going to raise her with this rage inside me? I don't want to hurt her. I don't want to project this anger onto her, as I have with so many other people. Trying to fight this battle on my own. Every day, it was a war. It was a battle. Tony, don't get angry. Don't get angry today. She needs you. She needs you to show up. She needs you to be that dad. My daughter loved me, but she was scared of me. And that tore me up inside, which fueled that guilt and that shame, fueled that raging war inside me. Every day I wake up scared, worried, anxious, fueling that anger, trying to fight this battle, trying to fight this war. I got to be the best dad I can. Come on, Tony, you got this. And every day I would fail. Sometimes multiple times in a day, screaming, yelling, throwing things across the room, hitting, and then having that guilt and that shame of knowing what I just did and not being in control of that just weigh me down. My daughter and I had a conversation just not too long ago. She's 19 now. And she was joking around. She says, you remember back when You used to scream and yell at me, and then you used to get mad at me for crying." She goes, "I always thought that was weird, and I don't understand why that happened. Why I don't understand why you were getting mad at me for crying." And I said, "I never shared this with you." And at the time, I didn't know why I was so mad, why I got so mad when she was crying. And I said, "Here is why I got so mad at you. It had nothing to do with you." Seeing the tears coming down your face only reminded me more of the pain that I was causing you. And I would yell at you and tell you to get out of the room because it was too much for me to bear. It was too much of a burden for me. It broke my heart. I was all she had left. I was physically there, but I was not there emotionally, mentally, spiritually, energetically. I thought I tried everything to overcome anger. I was on medicine for a while, told I had a chemical imbalance, told I would always be on medicine because I had this chemical imbalance. I was depressed, still angry, still raging, using alcohol to numb out. And it was pretty easy to do because that medicine just enhanced that. Just trying to numb out, not feel, to distract myself from what I was feeling on the inside. Using laughter as a defense mechanism. Not only did I use it to help other people laugh so they didn't feel the way I felt, but so they couldn't get too close to see and to feel and to know all the darkness that I had on the inside. Because if they knew what I was experiencing, what I was hearing, what I was feeling, they would run. Therapy, counseling, psychologist, all of it. I tried what I thought was everything. And at the time, I was in the church, I was a Christian, and I thought I was doing better for a little while. And bam, I get hit again. And I realized that I had this anger issue. So I go to two different pastors, and they told me, and I know they meant well because this is what they believe, but they told me, "Tony, you may never overcome anger. You may never overcome anger. You may be angry the rest of your life, but keep giving it to God outside of you, and He'll give you the strength every day. God, please don't let me get angry. Please give me the strength. Please give me the strength." And every day failing, every day, then getting mad at myself, mad at God. All these things, it just kept being this perpetual loop of going over and over like Groundhog Day every single day, living this, not knowing when it was going to strike. One minute I could be happy, having so much fun, and being my true self with my daughter. The next, I would be this angry, violent guy. And this could happen multiple times a day, walking on eggshells, scared to even go throughout my day. So every day for months, continuing to plead, beg for me to not get angry, for help, for strength, and it not come. And every day, hurting my daughter. And it gets to the point where I'm sitting on my couch, contemplating, asking myself those questions. And then a short time later, sitting there with the heaviness, I hear this voice, and this voice whispers to me. And my daughter's name is Kylie. And this voice says, Tony, Kylie is going to choose a man like you someday and marry him. If she were to choose today, would you be happy with that choice? And my immediate response was, oh, hell no, I'd fucking kill him. And that voice gets softer, and you can feel it lean in, and it whispers to me, well, she's watching you. You got work to do. And I went back. I'm like, I did all this work. I've done everything. How can I do any more work? I don't know what to do. I was told that I have to keep giving it to and I thought this was this God, this voice, and I believe it was, but not the way that I believed it was. But I was like, giving it outside of me, and I don't know what else to do. I've done all these different things. I've done everything that I can think of to overcome, and I'm still stuck. I don't know what to do. And the voice laughed, and it says, go deeper within. Go deeper within. Stop seeking outside of you. The answers are within you. The power is within you. And it was at that moment I felt this rise of energy within me, this rise and this power rise within me. And it was at that moment that I declared, I drew my line in the sand, and I said, I'm going to overcome anger or I'm going to die trying. I'm going to become the best man I can possibly be or I'm going to die trying. I'm going to become the best dad I can possibly be, or I'm going to die trying. I have no idea how or if I'm even going to be able to do it, but I'm going to do it or die trying. There was no turning back. I burned the bridges and I drew my line in the sand. At the very least, if I never overcome anger, my daughter will know that I loved her enough to give everything that I possibly could, that I was going to try everything to overcome anger, to break these generational curses of anger. And all I wanted to do was overcome anger. And I began this journey not knowing what I was going to do, going deeper within. And not only did I break the generational curse of anger, I began breaking all the generational curses that have plagued my family, my ancestors, for years, for centuries past. I came here to break all the cycles and create something new. And sitting here today, I can tell you that I broke that cycle. I ended the raging war within. I became the dad that I've always wanted to be, that I always was meant to be. And I am proud of the dad I am today. I am proud of the man that stares back at me in the mirror, knowing that I took that journey, that I drew my line in the sand. And I went from this raging war to more inner peace. And from that place, I've been able to reopen my gifts, my abilities that allows me to help men connect deeper with themselves, connect deeper in their relationships, and connect deeper in life. To reignite that fire and rise from the ashes as the phoenix and their power, their passion, and their purpose. To finally live a life that lights them up. My name is Tony Fonte, and thank you for going on this journey with me today.